Hey folks, welcome to another VR video. Today I am back in my Vive Focus headset for the first time in a long time. This particular headset kind of collects dust most of the time because it's got this 3DoF controller and it didn't have a very big library of content. I pretty much had the majority of the free content that was available installed already on my headset. So I had a Vive browser and Vive video and Sure Shot, which is a part of the Ready Player One experience, and V-Ridge Focus Beta, which was really the one thing that I used most often. But I have 9 pages of not that great content. This anatomy program is pretty cool. But really, I mostly used V-Ridge Beat Reality here, which is a AR application, actually. And I played some not really all that 6DoF or VR even games like Rhythm Jump here and Space Dodge, which has become my favorite Vive Focus pastime over the past few months. But I don't really use this all that much. That absolutely could change now. Viveport Infinity, as you can see up here in the corner, is now available on the Vive Wave platform. I'm currently logged into my Chinese account. It looks like there are 4 titles that if you log into Viveport, you can get these titles for free. So there's Cargo Racing VR, Apocalypse Rider, Bait, which is a fantastic title if I do say so myself, and Speed Surfer. Speed Surfer, again, another great title. All of these are available on a lot of different mobile VR platforms, but looks like something pretty cool that I will be checking out at a later time. But as you can see, there's a lot of Infinity logos on some of these applications, and some of these applications are new to platform as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Price by Infinity filter here, and you can see that Wonderglade, Zombie Warfare, Bait, Learn English with Oxford University, Amusement Planet, VR Fire Escape Drill. That sounds like actually something pretty educational, actually. Speed Surfer, Apocalypse Rider, Never Out. And some of these titles, as you can see, these are all in Chinese currency, so they look like they're more expensive than they might actually be in the US store. I'll be switching to the American store in just a moment. So we've got VR Traffic Safety Education, Another Plank, Paint VR, Space Says, The Devil Awaits VR, Fruitland, Viking Days, Floating Island, which is actually one of the coolest titles. Floating Island is really the only 6DoF headset tracked title that I've played thus far, and I do have that in my library, so I'll be checking that out in a future video again, just to see. I know there's been some updates since the last time I played it. Power Hitter, which looks like it's a baseball title. Pit Pat Plan, which is reminiscent but not quite as good as Pixel Ripped. Deadeye Dungeon, Dread Halls, which is a classic. Cataclysmic Earth, Great Header, which again, somewhat reminiscent of another title, Headmaster, but you know, at least it's available here. Faulty Towers, iZombies, Virtual Ninja VR, Immersive Combat, Season 1, which is, it's actually a non-interactive series, but it's got some dramatic awards from Sundance and other festivals. Astraeus, which is a fantastic title by E. McNeil. Darknet, another E. McNeil title. Phantom City VR, Atlas VR, Cargo Racing VR, as we mentioned earlier, Colonical, which is a multiplayer robot battler, Poker VR, VR Kart Sprint, Spark of Light, which is actually the first thing I've played on the Vive Focus, and a pretty cool title, Sneaky, Skyworld Kingdom Brawl, which is a brand new to platform title that just came out about a week ago. I played this at GDC in the VR Play area that was sponsored by Vive. Pretty cool title for sure. Purple Star Battle, which I'm not sure what that one is. Maybe we'll take a look at that later. Osmosis. Jam Studio VR, which is again on Viveport for both the Vive and Rift platform on PC and here on Viveport Mobile. Echo, which is a fantastic title. I haven't covered it on my channel yet, but I will be in the future for sure. Space Dodge, my favorite. Solitaire VR, Star Bear Taxi, Sunken, Bowling Starlight, which is a cool bowling title actually. Again, another one I might cover on the channel in the near future. Super Puzzle Galaxy Wave, Ultra Wings, Beats Fever Paper, Great Pyramid VR, VR Male Human Anatomy, Vestige, Underworld Overlord. That one actually looks pretty cool too. PL Panorama Editor, not sure at all what that is, no idea. When Asteroids Attack, Amblyopia Training Island. Seems to be an eye exercise for lazy eye or something of that nature. Cell Membrane, English Map, VR Disc League, Teaching Cool, Winner Takes All, The Rabbit Hole, Cloudlands VR Mini Golf Mobile, definitely a choice title here. Attack of the Bugs, also a pretty good and well-known title. Survival Diary VR, The Shape of the Earth, Flock VR Mobile, which is kind of fun. Camera, I think this is actually teaching you the inner workings of a camera. Ancient Chinese Wood Sculptures, Agent Hawk, Kitty in the Box VR, Monkey King, Space Museum, A10 VR, another quality title, and Curse of the White Tiger. So those are all of the titles that are available on the Chinese Viveport store. Alright, so now we're in the English store. This is the US store that I am also logged into. I have two different accounts, one for China and one for the United States. And here you can see some different titles. You do still see Skyward Kingdom Brawl, Another Plank, Super Puzzle Galaxy Wave, but now you've got Slightly Heroes, which is an awesome two-player 1v1 game. Overflight, Immersive Combat again, Dark Legend, which looks pretty cool. Power Hitter again, Darknet again, Atlas VR, Paint VR, Cataclysmic Earth. All of these are repeat titles on this page. And some more repeat titles on this page as well. So yeah, it looks like for the most part the United States store has similar content but just slightly less, which is how it's always been here on Viveport Mobile. So not to be outdone by the mobile platform, Viveport on PC, which is now compatible with both the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift, also has a pretty massive new library of Viveport Infinity titles. There are 686 titles in the Infinity library today, including things like Angry Birds VR, Fruit Ninja VR, Witching Tower, the Elite Gunter edition of Ready Player One Oasis, Apex Construct, Skyworld Kingdom Brawl, Summer Funland, Dick Wild 2, Contagion VR, Outbreak, Tilt Brush, which is again an awesome application that is one that you could spend hours and hours or days in creating things. The Gallery, Heart of the Emberstone. This is episode 2 of the Gallery. Episode 1 is also here as well. Richie's Plank Experience, the Wizards Enhanced Edition, the Blue, Blind, Abduction, Box VR, Tribe VR. Moving on to the second page, there's 39 pages of titles here that are available in the Infinity subscription. And again, you can download and play as many of these as you want to. It used to be restricted to 5 titles per month for Viveport, but now you can get games like Windlands 2, Atex Cybernetic, Furious Seas, the original Skyworld game, Shooty Fruity, Manifest 99, Knockout League, Unearthing Mars 2, Together VR, Torn, Seeking Dawn, another quality title that you might not want to commit a whole lot of money to, but playing it on the subscription, instead of paying $30, you're able to play it unlimited as part of your Viveport Infinity subscription. Elven Assassin, Rhythm Boxing, which is a brand new title that just debuted as part of Viveport Infinity. Transpose, a great puzzle title. Overview, Pixel Rip 1999. A very fun title by the folks at Popstick called Hotel Transylvania Popstick that I featured on the channel. I dressed as Link for that one. VFC, the Virtual Fighting Club. Racket NX, which not only is it available on Viveport, but recently announced that it's going to be coming to the Oculus Quest. Lucid, which is, I believe, the motion picture Lucid. I'm just going to click on this one because I just am curious. Yeah, this is a cinematic motion picture, which is really, really well done. That one's actually just now recently debuted on VR as well. Nevrosa Escape, Claude Monet, The Waterlily Obsession, Zomday, Prison Boss VR, another fantastic title. Virtual Sports, Skyfront VR, Ultra Wings, Everest VR, The Great Sea, another great animated motion picture that's been made and designed for VR. Anim VR, which is a creation platform, as Tilt Rush was. Guns and Stories, Bulletproof, Kobold, We Are Stars, another interactive experience. Awake, which is, this is the first episode, but it's a series that's being filmed specifically for VR. Dance Collider, and Island 359, another great title. That one, basically you're in Jurassic Park on your own with some guns to try to take down some dinosaurs. Okay, it's not really Jurassic Park, but if you suspend disbelief a bit, it's definitely a lot better than Ark Park. We'll go through a couple more pages of these titles. We've got Singularity 5, Final Soccer, Cloudlands VR Mini Golf, Gravity Sketch, another design application that's actually used for a lot more than just creativity. Sorento, the Viveport version of Sorento is a little bit different than the Steam version, but definitely another title that is worthy of picking up a Viveport Infinity subscription for if you don't have these games. Zombie Riot, Cosmic Trip, another trippy kind of fun game that a lot of people haven't played, but if you have a Viveport Infinity subscription, you can certainly check it out. Operation Warcade, Organon, Walk on Arrow, which I haven't played, but from what I understand is a multiplayer bow and arrow game. Cave Digger, Nature Treks VR, Front Defense Heroes, Roan, Throw Anything, Tree, which is a fantastic film, again, kind of a non-interactive title, but one that's well worth checking out. Don't Knock Twice, and Wands. And we'll look at one more page of the PC titles. We've got Fantastic Contraption, Townsman VR, Operation Apex, Earthlight Spacewalk, Titan Slayer, Drummer Talent VR, Galactic Gallery, Beyond Tokyo, Remind VR, which is a Vive Studios title, Conrad the Kitten, Perfect, Shape Lab, Riveting Discoveries, which is a dissection title, which when I was a kid in high school, they made us do some dissections live, and then as I aged a bit, they've actually made it so you don't have to do those if you object to it. Now you can actually do it virtually, which is kind of cool. The original Front Defense and Arcade Saga, Slightly Heroes, again, a fantastic title. If you don't have a Viveport Infinity account, I definitely suggest picking it up, especially if it's on sale, as it is here. Boxed In, and VR Theme Park Rides. Now, as we go through this library, it gets a little bit less awesome as we go. Apollo 11 is not less awesome, but it's also not the Apollo 11 HD experience. It's the original Apollo 11. Kingdom of Blades is another one that's kind of it's okay, but it's not the greatest. Renzo Racer is kind of a Mario Kart style game. Overkill VR and VR Regatta are both standouts, but a lot of these other games, as we continue to go, well, you get what you pay for. Racket Fury, though, again, I'm still picking out good titles on each of these pages. Racket Fury, Final Assault, Ghost Town Mine Ride, Woeful Wobots. Again, haven't checked it out yet on the channel, but I've played Skyward Kingdom Brawl, and it's pretty good as well. Amazon Odyssey is pretty good. Merry Snowballs. There's just so much here. As I continue, I'm finding more and more. I figured I could dismiss it after a few pages, but I can't. Glider Island is pretty fun. Jigsaw 360 is great, as is Pierhead Arcade. So there are a ton of titles here, especially if you're new to VR. Man, Stonehenge VR is great. The Super Puzzle Galaxy game, which you're basically making these sand paths for marbles, is a lot of fun. Masterpiece VR is another great creative game. Star Chart is a good educational title. There's a ton on here. I'm so impressed with the library that they've got coming out of the gate, and it's just going to keep improving. And man, Devil in the Fairy is a lot of fun. The Tower, The Relentless, A10 VR, again, great games. Darknet, Echo, Jibo Man. Jibo Man isn't available on mobile, but is the third title from Future Town. They also made Cloudlands VR Mini Golf and A10. Spark of Light's here. To World of Perilous Journey is a lot of fun. Wonderglade. So again, loads and loads of titles. A lot of these were also on the Viveport M title library that we saw earlier. And what the heck, we'll just keep going just a little bit more so you can see these titles. I'm not going to speak to each of them, but here's another couple of gems. Hashtag Archery and Selfie Tennis by VR Unicorns. Fantastic games. Love those games. They're two of my favorites. I still keep picking them back up. In fact, if you go to my Twitter profile, it's actually still me playing in my living room Selfie Tennis from 3 years ago, because I haven't changed it because I love that moment so much. Yeah, Astraeus, another great E. McNeil title. So there's games here that absolutely I would think you'd want to play. Beast Pets is another one, especially for kids. Blasters of the Universe is fantastic. Bounce is pretty good. So yeah, if you're new to VR, you have a brand new headset, or you just don't have a lot of these games in your library, Crystal Rift, another fantastic game from the early days of VR. I wish everyone would play, and this would give you the opportunity to do so. Like, some of these are not games that I would go back to, or games I haven't heard of that I might check out with Viveport. Dreadhall's again a classic. End Space is quite good. La Prairie, and also hopefully the sequel's on here as well. Galaxy Golf is a lot of fun. And I mean, if you've watched my channel, you've seen me cover a lot of these games. Hollow Ball's a fun one. I actually purchased Hollow Ball, funny story, a few years back, and I was concerned about damaging my room. So I refunded it. And I said, you know, the reason I refunded this game is because I was scared of damaging objects. And they actually wrote back and said, you know, we adjusted the game so you can make the play space much smaller. So I repurchased it because that developer was very attentive in the early days of VR. Horde Z is fantastic. I Expect You to Die is still one of my favorite games, and one that has the absolute best VR intro sequence. So definitely check that out if you have the opportunity. Infinity Disc is a lot of fun. It's a frisbee game that you're playing by yourself, but also kind of a puzzle game. Definitely one to check out. IO Moon is a lot of fun. Kartong, which started out as a April Fool's joke, lots of fun. Haven't played Kittypocalypse, but I've heard good things about that one. Lumen's a fun experience. That came from, I believe, Time Life VR. Lyra VR is a music creation tool, which is a lot of fun to use. Mana Storm is kind of like playing Magic the Gathering cards in VR. Mech League Boxing is a lot of fun. I've featured that on the channel before. Munch is fun, especially if you have kids. Neon Soul Outrun is one of those games that is a sleeper hit. It's a game that is kind of like an endless runner where you're on a motorcycle. It's in a futuristic town, kind of an anime feel to it. Lots of fun. The same developers made a game called Wanted Killer, which is fantastic. Neon sitting right next to it, also a great, smaller, unknown title. Nightstar Alliance is a lot of fun. I've played Number Hunt, didn't really care for it, but some people really like that one as well. Perplexagon is a newer puzzle title that I just saw there. Pixel Arcade VR is fun. Potioneer is a game where you're actually building a garden, which is something you don't see very often, but pretty fun. Quick Shot is a lot of fun. Reboant is a very short experience. It's only 99 cents to pay, but as part of a subscription you can play through it and then uninstall it. Redfoot, Bluefoot Dancing, if you have Vive trackers, is one of the few games that's really good for that. Remembering Pearl Harbor is a fantastic experience. Again, it's one of those things where you might not want to pay for it, but as part of the subscription, you can check out all of this stuff and then not be obligated to keep it in your library for the future. R-Factor 2 has a special McLaren edition. This actually came with the McLaren edition Vive Pro, but now you can get it as part of Viveport Infinity. Riff VR is a guitar simulator type thing. It's not a Guitar Hero game, mind you. ROM Extraction is the first game that came from the people that made Firewall, a very, very popular PlayStation VR game. If you haven't checked that out, you can check it out as part of Viveport Infinity. Run of Maiden is a great game as well. Man, so many games. When I started this video, I didn't expect this much on the PC side. Sky Sanctuary is a little bit of fun. It's not the greatest game on earth, but again, part of the subscription. You can check it out and see if you like it yourself. Smell of Death is one of those games that is very reminiscent to me of the first Resident Evil. Now, the first Resident Evil game had some good parts and some bad parts. Smell of Death does as well. But it's something that I enjoyed playing initially when the Vive was brand new. And now you can check it out as part of the subscription. Snailians is also kind of fun. Snow Fortress. Let's see here. Man, this is seriously like going through my entire 3 years of collecting and playing through titles. This is insane. This is really a well-organized library also. Space Cats with Lasers started out at, if I remember correctly, as Game Jam. Again, not the best game on earth, but something you can check out as part of the Infinity. Special Delivery, Speed Surfer again, Star Bear Taxi again. Super Ultra Monster Smash, which is a bunch of kaiju. Storm, another short title there. Survive the Deus Helix, another good one. Taco Face is hilarious, one I would definitely check out if you do decide to subscribe to Viveport Infinity. The Broken Seal is a RPG title that's a lot of fun. You can see Nicolas Cage in the Humanity Bureau. This one is one that it's a film with a price tag. Here's the gallery episode 1, Call of the Starseed. I mentioned that one earlier. But yeah, surprisingly, I thought there were going to be a lot of throwaway titles after the first few pages. And only now, as we get to page 35, am I not coming up with things and saying, oh man, gotta play that. Even here, you've got Traffic Cop, Tracker, Trance VR, Trains VR. Twisted Arrow's fantastic. So even 35 pages in, I'm still finding hidden gems and games that you should definitely check out if you were to try this out. Vindicta is a fantastic game. I definitely encourage, even if you don't decide to subscribe to Viveport Infinity, to pick up that one, especially if you can get it on sale. Virtual Spaceport's a lot of fun. I've played that recently on the channel. VR Trivia Battle is a lot of fun. That one is an actual live hosted trivia game, so you need to pick up the right time to play that one. VRZ Torment is a lot of fun. On this page we've got Warpaint and Where Thoughts Go, as well as the original Windlands. Zion is a lot of fun. And now we're finally reaching the last page here. Don't really care about either of these titles, but man, I'd say there's at least 50 to 60 titles in the Viveport Infinity must-play category here. This is really impressive, and I'm really happy to see the Viveport team have such a rich library at launch. Whether you have Viveport Mobile or Viveport on your PC, that means you have a ton of devices you can use. The Vive Wave platform for mobile, and then any HTC Vive product, or the Oculus Rift for PC at the present time. That's a lot of content. Right now, if we clicked on the Viveport Infinity options, it's $12.99 a month. That gives you unlimited access. That's for both PC and mobile, or $99 a year for an annual subscription. Both give a 14-day free trial right now. I actually have a month free trial, and I'm definitely considering signing up now just to check out some of the content that I haven't played. And then on mobile, there's also a mobile-only subscription available, at least on the Chinese store. I'm not sure. I didn't check the American store for options. You do have to give a payment method, a valid payment method, before starting. But again, you've got, man, around 700 pieces of content already ready to go. The Elite Gunter edition of Ready Player One Oasis has some added stuff that wasn't in the original. You've got lots and lots of games. I haven't played Dick Wild 2 yet, as an example. From this first page, like Abduction being on here is fantastic. Just having so many great games. Windlands 2, a game I picked up when it first came out. Fantastic. Shooty Fruity. There's just so much here that I didn't expect to see. So, very cool. And they also are giving out discounts on a monthly basis for the store. So if you want to pick up a title and keep it in your library even after you cancel your subscription, you can. I'm really hopeful for Viveport Infinity. It looks like something that hopefully will bring in a lot of users. I do also want to add the Viveport software is completely different than it was a couple of weeks ago. I had to actually uninstall the old busted Viveport software and install the new stuff. It's running pretty well so far. I haven't tried playing anything from it yet, but I might report back and say how it was. Until next time, though, this has been a pretty long video. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll be back with more content soon. Until next time, get out there and enjoy some VR for yourself, and thanks for watching.